Welcome back, Biomonsters. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of biology. So why do we study biology and why is it important for you to have an understanding of what biology is? To get started, the first thing that we're going to do is review just our basic protocol for taking notes, because today is the first day that we are treating you like scientists. So on your notes, you'll notice that at the very top, you'll see there's a section that says biology objectives or essential question. So our essential question or biology objective today is pretty simple. We just want you to, at the end of the set of notes, be able to explain to your grandmother why biology is important. Because if you can explain it to your grandmom, that means that you know it. Now, looking at your Cornell notes, you'll notice that all of the notes in our class are going to go on the right-hand side. The main idea and questions get filled in on the left-hand side when you're done. So we want you to take your notes and then go back and think about what questions align with the notes that you took that are found on the left-hand side. Now, when you get to a stop and jot, this is really important. Stop and jots help us know whether or not you understood what we just talked about. So when you get to a stop and jot, you need to pause the video, read the question, answer the question to the best of your ability by going back and reviewing the notes that we just covered. And when you think you have the right answer, call one of us over to check it for correctness. Now that we have the basics down, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that we need to discuss is, why are we here? Why are you enrolled in this particular class? Well, to make it pretty straightforward, you need this class in order to prepare for college, trade school, or job training. Pretty straightforward. Additionally, we need to talk about how does this specific class, the study of biology, fit into the picture of being ready for the next phase of your life. Well, it's pretty simple. Without this class, without passing the SOL and having a successful enough grade to earn a credit for the course, you cannot earn a high school diploma in the state of Virginia. So this class is really, really, really important. All right, we made it to your first stop and jot. Go ahead and pause the video, answer the question on your day sheet, and when you think you have the right answer, call your teacher over to check it for correctness. All right, now that we've just survived our first stop and jot, the next thing that we want to do is actually talk about what biology is. And we spent 2 days now talking about procedures and doing all of the housekeeping stuff that we have to do at the beginning of the year. But this is a biology class, so let's talk about what biology actually means. In order for us to figure that out, we're going to do a word breakdown. So let's go ahead and look at the word biology. You have the same word printed on your Cornell notes. Whatever I do on the screen to this word, I need you to do the same thing in your notes. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to break this word in half. So I have two sections. I have this prefix right here, which is bio. And then I have logi, which comes next. The first thing that we want to do is figure out what this prefix bio actually means. Well, bio has a pretty simple definition. Anytime you see bio at the beginning of a word, it's always going to mean life. Pretty simple. Now, logi always has the same meaning, and we tend to see logi after lots of things in the sciences. Logi simply means study of. So now if we put these two parts together and we have to figure out what the definition of biology actually is, we know that bio means life, logi means study of, so I know that biology is the study of life. Now that's pretty broad, so that means in this class this year we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. We're going to be talking about ourselves and the individual units of life that make us up. We're going to be talking about other things that are considered living, and we're also going to be discussing what does it mean to be alive. We're also, in that same context, going to be talking about interactions between different living things, and we're in the same vein going to be talking about how to ensure that things maintain balance or maintain health so that they can stay alive. The next thing that we need to ask ourselves is, why are we studying biology? So why study it? What's the point? Well, the first reason we want you to study biology is what we said before. In the state of Virginia, you can't earn a high school diploma without the class. So the first reason why we want you to study biology is because we want you to be able to earn, at minimum, a high school diploma. The reason we want you to be able to earn a high school diploma is because we want you to be able to get into a good college if that's what you choose to do after your 4 years of high school. The reason why we want you to be able to get into a good college that fits you is because we want you to be able to earn a college degree. And the reason we want you to be able to earn a college degree is because we want you to be able to eventually get a good, decent job. The reason why we want you to get a good, decent job is because we want you to be able to make enough money to live a good life, so essentially you don't die poor. It's pretty simple. We study biology to earn a high school diploma so that we can get into a college, so that we can get a good job, so that we don't have to die poor because we're going to earn enough money to live a good life. Now, that all boils down to one simple saying. The idea of saying that we want you to be able to get into a good school, get a good job, earn a good living so you don't die poor, all boils down to the fact that knowledge is power. Without knowledge, you can't get a high school diploma. Without your high school diploma, you can't move on to any of those other steps. So knowledge is power, and we want you to remember that when you're in this class because we want you to feel empowered when you leave our classroom because of the information that you've absorbed while you're with us. All right, now we've come to your next stop and jot. Go ahead and pause the video, answer the question, and when you think you have the right answer, call your teacher over to check it for correctness. We've talked about biology in general. We now know what the definition is. We now know why we should study it. But there's another basic fact that you should know. Science is the money subject. Science is money. So if we were to look at it individually, the average salary of an engineering major just after graduating college, going straight into their first job with zero experience, is $50,000 a year. That's a lot of money. If we want to go a step further and say that you wanted to go beyond just 4 years of college and go and get advanced training, let's say go to medical school, the average salary of a doctor ranges anywhere from $150,000 to $225,000 a year. Again, that's a huge amount of money. The average salary of a college graduate, regardless of what their major is, if we're looking at all the college graduates that graduate within one given year, the average salary of these guys is $40,000 a year. That's still pretty good money coming straight out of college with zero work experience. Now, if we were to compare that to the average salary of someone who's just earned a high school diploma, we're looking at $22,000 a year. Still, that's decent. You can live off of it. Now, unfortunately, when we take a look at individuals and their earning power who were unable for any number of reasons to complete their high school diploma, the average salary of a high school dropout is just $16,000 a year. That's actually considered the poverty line. So what's even scarier, if we're not even looking at the money, is the idea that high school dropouts are 3 times more likely to be unemployed as college graduates. And you guys know it's really tough out there to get a job, and it becomes more difficult if you don't finish high school. So this class is really important. It's going to take you one step closer to getting that high school diploma, which is one step closer to moving on and doing bigger and better things after high school. Now, when we talk about dropping out, we know that it's silly in terms of money. We know that it's silly in terms of finding a job, but we want to drive that point home. Dropping out of high school is so silly. It's as silly as burning money. So if you're into burning money and wasting money, dropping out of high school might be your thing. If you like money and you want to be able to buy things for yourself, your family, and other people that you care about, staying in high school, being successful, earning your high school diploma, allowing you to go on to do bigger and better things will ensure that more money will come your way. All right, we are now reached our next stop and jot. Go ahead, pause the video, answer the question that you see on your day sheet, and when you think you have the right answer, call your teacher over to check it for correctness. The last thing that we're going to discuss is what can you do with biology? Think back to what we talked about at the very beginning of this presentation. We discussed the definition of biology. Biology is a study of life. That's huge. It's super broad. Because it's so broad, lots of different career paths can fit underneath this particular area of study. Let's go ahead and look at just a few. Forensic scientists. Forensic scientists or forensic science, if you like what you see on CSI on television, then you like biology. Biology is for you. Archaeologists, anything in the medical field, nurses, doctors, dentists, if you're interested in sports medicine, these are all connected to biology directly because they are studying living things. You could also be a teacher in the sciences or even an engineer. And although engineers aren't specifically working with biology, being in a biology class and learning how to think like a biologist allows them to develop the skills necessary to become a successful engineer. All right, we've come to our last stop and jot. Go ahead, pause the video, answer the question on your Cornell notes, and when you think you have the right answer, call your teacher over to check it for correctness. Once your teacher gives you the signature, go back and make sure you fill in the left-hand side of your Cornell notes. Thanks, guys.